everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. So I'm ending off my week of videos. I hope you guys have enjoyed all of these because I definitely had a lot of fun making all of these videos. I'm ending things off a little bit light and easy with a book tag. This is the Ugly Covers Beautiful Books tag that was created by Nerd in Translation, and she also tagged me in this. This was made like forever ago and I'm just really bad at doing tags, but I'm finally getting around to it. Question number 1, choose 5 of your most hideous book covers on your bookshelf. The first one I'm going to show is A Room with a View by E.M. Forster. I just really don't like these classics that just have like a random photograph or painting on the cover surrounded by some solid color, and it just looks really boring, and why anyone would pick this up, I have no idea. Similarly, I wanted to show off this copy of Emma by Jane Austen. I don't even understand, like, is this supposed to be Emma? I don't, what? And then I have this edition of The Chocolate War. This just such a bad Photoshop job. It's 2 people and a school in the background and this like ominous sky, and I don't think you guys can tell, but there's supposed to be like chocolate splatter, it looks like, on the cover, and this, oh, it's just so ugly. I just wanted to buy this book and I looked so hard for another cover, but I couldn't find one at the bookstore, so I just ended up buying this one to my dismay. Then I have this edition of The Outsiders by S.E. Hilton. Oh my gosh, I need a new version of this, but I mean, part of the reason why I've kept it so long is because I got this in junior high. This is like the first book I ever owned, really, and I have sentimental connection to it, but oh my gosh, this cover's so ridiculous. And then my 5th one is this book, Between the Bridge and the River by Craig Ferguson. I just don't understand this cover. I mean, it's like the photo with the weirdness of the title placement and words. I just don't understand. Number 2 is what convinced you to buy these books, or were they gifted to you? I generally tend to be pretty vain about the books that I buy. I do like to buy like nicer, prettier versions of books if possible. So most of these ugly books that I own are either ones that were for school and so like I had to buy that edition, or it's literally the only edition that's out there. So I have no other choice. Number 3 is name some good books with ugly covers. For this one, basically any classic will do. I mean, my copies of Emma and A Room with a View and The Outsiders are all really ugly, but I do enjoy those books, so I feel like in general classics tend to get the short end of a stick when it comes to covers, except recently a lot of these like Jane Austen's and things like that are starting to get remade in really beautiful ways, but back when I was in high school those didn't exist, and so they were all just really ugly. Number 4 is name some bad books with bad covers, and outside of the ones I've showed you, here are a couple of other ones. There's this book, which is The Sports Writer by Richard Ford. This isn't like the ugliest cover in the world. I just am really anti-photographs on book covers, so I don't like this cover, and I didn't really like this book. I only got about this halfway into it, I would say, and then I just stopped and I never really wanted to go back to it. Another book that I wasn't really crazy about is Fruit of the Lemon by Andrea Levy. I just don't like this cover. It kind of makes sense because it takes place in London and the lemon has significance, but this is like the worst possible way to put those 2 images together. Number 5 is what makes a book cover ugly to you. 99% of the time it's photographs. I hate photographs on covers. I much prefer either illustrations or some sort of graphic element to the book cover design. Anytime there's a photograph, I feel like I automatically like shut down to liking the book quite a bit. It is really, really rare that I see photographs utilized well on book covers. Also, I'm kind of picky on fonts. In general, with graphic design, I tend to be pretty picky about fonts. So if I see like bad fonts used, like on this Craig Ferguson book I mentioned, like this font, just, oh, I hate it. And if I just see it utilized poorly, then that also makes me hate the book, or like mixing fonts that don't mix well together. That's one thing that J.K. Rowling's new book, The Casual Vacancy, I hate that cover because A, the colors look like McDonald's, and B, I hate the fonts that are used, and I hate those 2 fonts together. They're so ugly. Blah. Hate that. Number 6 is, are these books likely to be gifted or donated? because of their ugly cover. No, I mean, all of the books I've showed you I've had for years, so obviously not. The only reason why I get rid of books is if I really genuinely don't like the book, and I even do have a lot of books on my bookshelf that I don't like, but I still kept. The only reason why I would give away a book is if I found another copy to replace it. So if I found, say, a better copy of Emma, I would replace the one that I have here. And finally, name one of your books the king of ugly books on your bookshelf, and I'm going with this copy of The Chocolate War. No, really guys, this is like the worst Photoshop job ever. I could do a better job than this, and I don't even have Photoshop. So yeah, that's my little ugly covers tag. This one was a little hard for me to do because I am so vain about books that it was hard for me to find ugly covers to do this with, which is part of the reason why it took me so long to do. I'm not tagging anyone this time around, but if you are interested in doing the tag, feel free to consider yourself tagged. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching. I don't tend, I gen,